Exclusive response here from Willie Mullins on how to pronounce his winner at Ludlow. Diamond or Diamond de Berlais?
We're going with Diamond.
What were your take in the last 10 minutes? Two good winners.
Two good winners, yeah. That was nice. Patrick rode a nice winner in Ludlow for Pete Davies, and first run for us, so he did it well. I didn't think he looked like a money-on shot 3 or 4 hurdles out, but once he got a bit of daylight, he quickened away and jumped the last very well, so he's a horse on the improve. Too Bossy for us, did it nicely. It was a slow enough run contest. I think we'd have preferred a faster one. But Paul set him alight going to the last, and he jumped it very big, so that shows me that he had plenty left in the tank, which also shows me that he can improve, once he gets down and really starts hurdling rather than jumping. I think there's a little improvement there too.
Do we back him now for the Breeders' Cup Turf or won the race last with Diamond?
Why not?
He's a horse, so
he will be dual purpose for us this year, yeah.
You were just saying to the lads, Gary and Peter here, he has the class for the Supreme as well. Would that be fair?
He could, yeah. But we will have a look and see what races that he's in and what he's qualified for and what other horses we have in. But he'll definitely go there, and he's probably a horse that we might try and qualify for the Melbourne Cup as well, so he's one of those that could go a few different ways.
These are lucky owners, obviously, as well.
Yes, yeah. 3 boys were here, I think, and I think they made 4 days out of a 2-day festival in Leopardstown, so they're enjoying their racing, so they're really getting into it, and there's some nice horses to enjoy as well.
What was your reflection of the DRF? Just talking to Mark about Factifile, magic stuff to watch them like that.
Yeah, I mean, Majbro, Factifile, they were fantastic. Just horses coming right at the right time of the season. Did
Majbro impress you in terms of the data afterwards of saying this horse jumped impeccably well? Did it look like that watching him?
I didn't go much into the data. I was just looking at the horse, and it was a wow factor, I thought, from the time Mark just said go to him, and all the way down the back, and then over the third last, and you were wondering, turning for home, had he enough done? And when Mark gave him a squeeze, he just took off again. That's really good.
Does ground matter to him, or what's your thinking on him?
It doesn't look like it, does it? On that performance, I think he'll go on any ground. He's a lovely long, low action, which you would think would be for better ground, but that ground was very testing, and he was well able to stride out on it.
When you're watching the Gold Cup, then is half of you looking back on your old favourite Galopin to see the race he runs as well?
Yeah, I was keeping an eye on him all the time, and I thought he went well. I was a little afraid that he had such a hard race at Christmas that it might tell on him, and it probably did, but still he ran a good race. And if the ground comes up soft in Cheltenham, I think he's still going to be a challenger.
Interesting, yeah, there we go.
We all have to get there. That's the whole point about it, and they have to recover from that race, and they still have to and then get ready for Cheltenham. So at least we have a few irons in the fire.
Fair to say, some good juveniles as well, and I just love the way he went on after the last Narciso.
Narciso was very good. I thought our filly that was second ran a cracker as well. I mean, I love the way she jumped the second last. She must have passed about 3 horses or 4 horses in the air, and I think she'll improve a lot for that. But I think the track will really suit Narciso Haas. The way he eats up ground and jumps, and it'll be a real test of stamina there, and that's what he wants.
Didn't talk about Leader Dahlia since the last. He looked very good as well, didn't he?
I think so. He was very impressive after the line, as much before it. Paul pulled him up to jump the last, which was the right thing to do, get over it and win the race rather than be in a heap on the ground. But when he gave him a squeeze after the last, he couldn't pull him up.
And the DRF in general, how we're very happy with how the team went?
Very happy. We had a few disappointments. Final Demand, Lossiemouth, disappointing. But I think they'll bounce back too. A bit of spring air, maybe a bit of sun on their back coming into the spring will be a big help to them.
Could all do with the change in the weather that we've had, couldn't we?
Yeah. I mean, our horses go on that sort of ground as well, but I think they just need to be in better form, and I think we'll manage that. We'll get them in better form.
You're certainly not giving up on Final Demand by the sound of it.
No, I'm not giving up on any of them. We had plenty of horses over the years who maybe disappointed, but it came right coming to Cheltenham. I mean, Vatour is probably the one more so in mind, so there's lots of things we can do between now and then, hopefully just to put a bit of spark back into them.
Great to talk to you.
Thanks very much, Johnny. Cheers.
Just reflecting with Willie Mullins on the dam here of this winner, Poetics Girl, who only ran once for herself, has produced Colreevy, Spiderweb, Run for Dave, January Jets, Light Brigade, Hurricane Darwin, Fillyoureye, All Ground, all winners. And this horse is good today, Willie.
He was. He needs a bit of nicer ground. He needs a trip. And looking at him today, I think he needs a fence too. But I'll wait until the new season comes in. We'll try and win a nice hurdle race between now and the end of Punchestown. Possibly something in Fairy has for him.
What would you put Mallow down to, inexperience or?
Yeah, he was too. He wasn't free actually in Mallow. He didn't enjoy Mallow. He didn't take Paul along at all. So we took the hood off him today, and it made a big difference. I think he was always very free, but he's changed now. He's learning. He's more mature and he's settling in his races. Makes him easier to ride.
Today he just seemed to be very good in general, wasn't he?
Yeah, probably wasn't the highest standard of race either, so he's improving, and maybe the ones around him aren't, so I was happy to get that, and I think his future might lie over fences.
Any comparison to Colreevy?
None.
The colours are quite distinct, lovely to winner in them.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to Melodon, I suppose, years ago. What year was Melodon? She must
before my time.
Yeah, I know. She must have been in the 70s.
77, yeah.
So, and that's his father's colours. So they're, they've been around and been on some very good horses over the years.
It's a funny game because the dam ran once, and she went to stud, and you don't know what's going to happen, and she's produced what was 8 or 9 winners.
Yeah, but I think she must have a nice back pedigree, and I'm sure Flint wouldn't keep him there unless she had a nice pedigree. She might have got injured or something, and maybe that's why. But to see a mare breeding that many winners is huge.
Would you have any sort of long-term plans for this horse this season, or?
No. I'm looking at maybe a 2, 6 or 3 mile hurdle in Fairhouse. Is it the Downshire hurdle? I think it used to be called. Is that right? Novice handicap in long distance novice handicap in Fairhouse would look to me now, unless there's a new race in the meantime or something like that, but that would set him up nicely for that, I think.
Did you talk to Patrick about your winner in Ludlow actually?
I didn't. No, he's no, he'll ring me later on, but it didn't look to be going well, and he got very tight for room, I think around the second last. But did it well in the end.
Paul impressed by these 2 winners as well?
I think so. I like the first winner, to Bossy first. I think he's going to improve. He could be a decent horse.
Great to talk to you.
Thanks very much, Johnny. Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.